500 years back, way before we had social media tips for dating or podcasts about relationships, a diplomat from Florence who had fallen from grace was all by himself in exile. He really thought everyone had moved on and forgotten about him. Niccolo Machiavelli was out of money, jobless, and totally embarrassed. But instead of just getting bitter, he grabbed a pen and wrote something so groundbreaking and so unnerving that the Catholic Church tried to shut it down. And leaders all over Europe swore they'd never even say his name again. It wasn't because he told people to be bad, but because he revealed the bad things that were already there. He made people face the real reasons behind their actions, the ones we usually hide behind sweet talk, good deeds, and being virtuous. For half a millennium, folks have thrown the same insult at him. They say Machiavelli was sly, unethical, and a menace, but hardly anyone has actually read his work. Even fewer have really gotten it, because what he wrote wasn't really about leaders, fighting, or political tricks. It was about us people. It was about the hidden ways we act that lead to us sticking with someone, wanting something, messing things up, and forming bonds. And right now, one question is louder than ever. What did Machiavelli truly grasp about women, relationships, and the human condition that we're still hesitant to acknowledge? This isn't just another jaded take on modern dating. It's not a gripe, a dogma, or a tool for conflict. Instead, it's an investigation, a dive into the psychological drivers that shape attraction, enduring bonds, and emotional dedication. And according to Machiavelli, there's a singular, potent force that explains why love thrives, why relationships crumble, why passion flares and fades, and why women opt for certain men while rejecting others. We're about to reveal it. But first, you need to adopt Machiavelli's perspective, shedding the comforting falsehoods that usually shield you. To grasp Machiavelli's insights into female psychology, you must comprehend why he so unnerved people. He didn't write about how people like to present themselves. He wrote about their actual conduct. While others lauded honor, faithfulness, and ethical obligations, Machiavelli noticed something different. When situations shifted, so did feelings. When things got tough and resources ran out, people stopped being loyal. When trouble showed up, so did backstabbing. And he didn't judge them for it, he just pointed it out. He figured that no matter who you are, man or woman, rich or poor, people aren't really driven by high-minded ideas. Instead, they're motivated by what's in it for them, by staying alive, by getting what makes their lives better and keeps them safe for the future. This applies to everyone, from rulers and soldiers to priests, lovers, friends, husbands, and yes, women too. It's not that women are inherently more selfish, but that all people are. But Machiavelli also saw something society really didn't want to admit. Women's choices were often viewed much more critically, even though they were just following the same basic human instincts as men. Society pushed the idea that women were only motivated by love, doing the right thing, and loyalty. Machiavelli saw past all that. He understood that women, just like men, make choices based on their own internal assessments, whether they realize it or not, of what's risky, what's rewarding, what's safe, what makes them happy, and what opportunities are available. And that truth made him a threat. Because if you take away the idea that love is always there, no matter what, or that it will last forever, you're left seeing relationships not as perfect stories, but as delicate arrangements that only last as long as they work for both sides. We live in a society that tries to sell love as something fated, a magical spark, or pure emotion. Machiavelli, however, grasped a more practical truth. Wants aren't just random, they have reasons. What draws us to someone isn't a shot in the dark, and love doesn't come without a price. You can't assume someone will stick around. People tend to remain where their needs are satisfied and move on when they aren't. This is especially true for women, not because they're greedy or tricky, but because historically, picking the wrong partner has had more serious consequences for them than for men. Women have always been more vulnerable, physically, socially, and financially. For most of human history, a woman's ability to survive, maintain her good name, stay safe, and remain free depended a lot on the man she was with. So, women's minds developed to assess, judge, and manage risks way before dating apps were even a concept. This isn't about women being calculating. It's about them being smart, strategic, and aware. Machiavelli suggested that when someone's welfare relies on another person, they can't afford to be idealistic. They have to focus on the results. Therefore, behind every romance, every relationship, and every romantic dream, he perceived a subtle bargaining process. Will this relationship make my life better or put it in danger? Women throughout history learned to ask this question without even thinking about it. Today's women still ask it, even if they now use terms like compatibility, emotional security, or lasting stability. Many men hear this and feel uneasy because it clashes with the idea that love by itself should be sufficient. But Machiavelli would argue the opposite. It makes love real, it makes it earned rather than assumed. When Machiavelli wrote that people are loyal only while it benefits them, critics called him cruel. But he wasn't advocating selfishness. He was revealing its inevitability. Humans care about others deeply, but not infinitely. There is always a limit, a breaking point, a moment where emotional cost outweighs emotional reward. Look at relationships that collapsed after a job loss, a major illness, a financial setback, or a personal transformation. Look at friendships that dissolved once convenience disappeared. Look at marriages that died not because love vanished, but because expectations changed. Machiavelli would ask, were these betrayals or simply human nature expressing itself? Now apply that to women. Women are often told their purpose is sacrifice, to forgive endlessly, to stay loyal no matter what, to give more than they receive. Society romanticizes female selflessness while criticizing female standards. Machiavelli would call that manipulation, an attempt to control women by redefining virtue. He believed the opposite, that maintaining self-interest is a sign of psychological strength, not moral failure. That a woman who protects her emotional, physical, and financial well-being is not selfish, but rational. And that any relationship requiring a woman to abandon her needs is not love, but dependency disguised as devotion. This framing changes everything. It transforms the question from why do women want what they want to why wouldn't they? Across centuries, cultures, and social systems, one behavioral pattern reappears. A woman stays when the relationship enriches her life, and she leaves when it diminishes it. That enrichment may be emotional connection, safety, admiration, partnership, intellectual stimulation, sexual compatibility, shared ambition, or a sense of being seen and supported. It is rarely shallow despite stereotypes. In fact, Machiavelli would argue it is grounded in remarkable emotional intelligence. Yet men who misunderstand this pattern often feel blindsided. They assume consistency is guaranteed once love is declared. They believe effort can stop once commitment is secured. They confuse early attraction with permanent loyalty. And when a woman withdraws, they misinterpret it as irrational, sudden, unprovoked. Machiavelli would say the signs were always there. The incentives shifted. The exchange became unbalanced. The emotional return declined. And because women are conditioned biologically and socially to notice destabilization faster than men, they respond earlier and more decisively. This is why betrayal feels shocking to those who never examine the foundation of the relationship. They assumed love was an unbreakable promise. Machiavelli knew better. Love is a living contract. And like any contract, it requires ongoing value to remain valid. And now, after centuries of denial, reinterpretation, and moral panic, we arrive at the truth society still fears to speak aloud. After all the myths are stripped away, after all the romantic ideology dissolves, after all the psychological defenses collapse, Machiavelli's insight reveals itself with simple clarity. Women don't want perfection, wealth, dominance, beauty, status, or fantasy. Not universally, not fundamentally. Those are surface details that change with time and circumstance. What women want, the only thing women want is security. Not just financial security, emotional security, psychological security, relational security. The security of being understood rather than managed. The security of being respected rather than tolerated. The security of knowing that loyalty will not become exploitation, that affection will not become indifference, that commitment will not become complacency.
The security of choosing a partner who will not crumble under pressure, retreat from responsibility, or resent their strength. The security of stability without stagnation, passion without volatility, connection without possession. Security does not mean safety from life. It means safety in partnership.
And when that security disappears, Machiavelli would say the relationship is already over whether either person admits it or not. This is not a condemnation of women. It is a recognition of their wisdom because security makes love sustainable. Security allows vulnerability, intimacy, trust, and long-term emotional investment. Security is the foundation upon which everything else, desire, loyalty, affection must be built. Machiavelli never claimed that humans are incapable of love or that relationships are doomed to fail. He claimed they succeed only when they align with human nature rather than fight against it. People, including women, remain loyal where loyalty offers meaning, fulfillment, dignity, and stability. Remove those and loyalty dissolves. Understanding this doesn't make you cynical, it makes you prepared. It makes you compassionate. It allows you to see relationships not as magical guarantees, but as mutual responsibilities requiring continual investment. The world punished Machiavelli for telling the truth, but the truth survived. And today it offers liberation instead of fear. If you want lasting love, don't chase fantasy. Don't demand unconditional devotion. Don't rely on promises. Create security within yourself, within your life, within your relationship. Provide what sustains attachment rather than what merely sparks attraction. Because the only thing women want is the only thing all humans want. A partnership where their self-interest, identity, and future are protected rather than threatened. Once you understand that, you stop trying to be chosen and start becoming someone worth choosing. Welcome to the real world. It isn't as romantic as the fairy tale, but it's the only world where love truly lasts.